an advocate for girls and young women in my country.
Wonderful. Welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. Any other person, please?
Thank you.
Good evening, all. I'm Bokari Vandi, calling from Sierra Leone, specifically Freetown, the capital city. I'm a clinical health officer by profession and someone who is passionate about youth, activists, more especially the women and girls of Sierra Leone.
Very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Kutubu. Welcome, welcome.
Mr. Vandi.
I mean, Mr. Vandi. I'm sorry, Mr. Vandi.
You still remember the name for Blessing? I understand, right?
That's right. I hope he's coming. I hope Mr. Kutubu is coming.
Blessing, you can call Mr. Kutubu now.
Yes. Any other person, please? And Mr. Sylvester was supposed to be here today so that we could have given him the first chance. But I'm not sure if he's here right now. So yes, please who is next? Okay, nobody else? Okay. So today, let me see the names of people who would be talking to us. We all know the topic. First of all, let me ask all of you that are online, especially those who are in Freetown or in Sierra Leone, how is our nation and how is the elections? How is the atmosphere there? Is it peaceful? Is it calm? Can you give us some feedbacks, some opinions about your experience today, how the country is?
So far, on a general basis, I can say the election has been peaceful up to this moment.
Oh, the connection is really terrible right now.
For president, parliamentary, even though there are instances where we have polling stations and centers that could not receive election materials on.
So you said there are some polling stations that could not receive the election material sometimes. Some of you that are signing in, don't forget to put your audio on. Your audio, normally when you click on the Zoom link, if you don't watch the screen quickly, the audio is gonna come and disappear right away if you're not watching. So you gotta look at your screen and look at the audio and turn it on. For those that are following us on YouTube, the YouTube is live, and please make comment on the YouTube, and we are following, we're reading them. If you have a question, you can always ask on YouTube as well, and we would be able to get to it. So we have Deborah. Deborah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, you've introduced yourself, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So today you're one of our speakers who is going to talk about the role of young people in a peaceful, progressive agenda. How do young people get involved in progress peacefully? in nation building peacefully. That's really what is on the floor today. And we are happy that you are ready and you are here to be one of the speakers. Ambassador Paul, you're also welcome. Is Carlos online too?
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Yes, sir, you're welcome. Is Carlos online as well?
Yeah, I'm the one speaking.
Oh, so Paul and Carlos is the same name. Yeah. So Deborah is here, Carlos is here, and all of us are here. Blessing is here. So let's kickstart this. Deborah, you want to open the floor? So usually the way we do it, you have like about 10 minutes to do a presentation about the role of young people in nation building, and then the few others who are here, like Carlos also would have some time to speak, and Zipporah also, if she's ready, she's also has some time. And then from there, we would have a conversation and a discussion, that would enrich all of us. Deborah, are you ready? Hello, Deborah, your phone is muted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So are you okay? Are you ready? Are you ready to give your presentation?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I lost network.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay, Bakari Van, you're back. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are going to hear from Deborah now, her presentation. Then a few of you also will give some presentation. Then we'll have a very rich conversation today. Go ahead, Deborah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So much for this great privilege.
Oh, I think we've lost Deborah. So Ambassador Paul. Ambassador Paul, are you ready? Okay, I think Deborah is coming back.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for this privilege to talk about the role of youths in nation building. Well, I don't really have much to say, but the few things I'm going to just outline, I hope it tells us the role of youths in nation building.
Yes.
So the role of youth in nation building is of great significance, and they represent the future of a country. If you look at most countries, see that youths are actually more populated. When I say youth, I'm referring to young adults and young people. They are more populated, like their population is actually more in every country, both in Nigeria, both in Sierra Leone and other countries too. So I just have some few key aspects that the role of nation building is, the role of youth in nation building is very important. Now, youths are actually known as agents of change. What I mean agents of change, youths are often like at the forefront of any social activity, cultural activity, political movements. And you see, they possess this energy. You see, when they are going for all these things, especially maybe we are going for protests and all those things, they possess this energy, enthusiasm, and idealism that can drive positive change and challenge the status quo. They are also fresh. They have this fresh perspective and innovative ideas that can bring out new solutions to societal problems. I hope we can actually agree to that. And they also contribute to the overall development of any country. That is the aspect of them being agents of change. Then we have the aspect of human capital development. You know, investing in their education, skills, and training of these young people is essential for nation building, because like they hold a very strong, capable workforce in any country. So by equipping the youth with knowledge, technical skills, and vocational training, they can become productive. They can contribute to the economy and also play an active role. They can also play a very active and a very important role in nations' growth. Then the third aspect is social and cultural cohesion. Now, youth have the ability to actually bridge gaps, and they foster social and cultural cohesion within any country at all. And they also promote inclusivity, yes, tolerance and respect for diversity. Then we have the aspect of political participation and leadership. Youth engagement in politics and governance is actually crucial for a vibrant democracy. Then we have the one of technological innovation too. The youth they are early adopters of this technology, and they can be at any forefront of technological innovation, because their familiarity with all these digital tools, platforms can contribute to the advancement in various sectors of the economy. So they are like embracing their innovative ideas and empowering them with resources can lead to transformative development within any country. Then we have sustainable development and environmental stewardship. You see, youths have this what do they call it? They have this vital, yes, they call it vital role to play in promoting sustainable developments and environmental conservation. They can raise awareness about climate change, advocate for sustainable practices, and actively participate in environmental initiatives by prioritizing environmental sustainability. Young people can actually contribute to a greener and more sustainable future for their nation. In summary, we see that the role of youth in nation building encompasses being agents of change, contributing to human capital, fostering social and cultural cohesion, engaging in political participation and leadership, driving technological innovation, and promoting sustainable development. Also, recognizing and empowering the youth is crucial for the overall progress of any prosperous or for the prosperity of any nation.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you so much. You have done well. And the things you have highlighted, the importance of youth, I know it's not that unique. I think the interesting thing is that even the old folks, the politicians, they know the value of youth. The only thing that has been taking place is we ourselves, we the young people. I don't think we ourselves realize the amount of influence and power we carry. And so most of the time we look up to them. And so we are vulnerable in their hands, particularly if they choose to use us, just to advance their own selfish gain. But like Deborah has highlighted the value of youth and the role of youth, if we can mobilize ourselves, because, it is our today, it is our future, it is our tomorrow that we're building. So this is very, very critical. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your comment. And so who is next? Ambassador Carlos? You're ready?
Sir.
You're ready?
Yes.
So, but Ambassador, before you give your presentation, I want to find out, where were you today in Sierra Leone? Is it Freetown or in the provinces?
No, I was at Freetown today. I'm just returning home. Sorry for joining you guys lately because I was out there in observing the electioneering processes at different polling stations. I was one of the observers in observing the election. So I was kind of late a bit in you guys.
That's very good. So could you give us just an objective overview of what you observed?
Okay,
Like an
thank you
objective
so much.
overview of what you observed, yeah, today, especially the mood of the country, the nature of the atmosphere, how, were people happy, were people, the kind of participation that you were seeing, were people enthusiastic, resilient, standing in line? What's your take? What's your observation about the mood of the country today?
Yeah, so I will limit my presentation on what I observed in person, not what
Yes,
others have been sending at the social
correct.
media. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So prior to some polling stations I visited earlier on today,
Mhm.
firstly, one of the dissatisfactions that some of the constituents raised was the fact that the ECSL staff, which is the Electoral Commission staffs, Sierra Leone staffs,
Yeah, yeah,
they only came at the centers lately today, wherein they were expected to have reported at the centers latest 7 a.m. this morning. But in some stations they were only arrived after 9, 10 a.m. in this morning. So as a result of that, a lot of these constituents were kind of disgruntled, as some of them woke up earlier because of the enthusiastic. They were they were filled with the eagerness, the anxiety,
yes,
to wake up earlier this morning just to go and cast their
yeah,
votes and then go about their normal businesses. So some of them woke up
yeah,
late, expecting the staffs to have been there so they would have casted their votes and then go about their normal businesses. But to their dismay, the staffs were not there earlier. So as a result of that, some of them just have to queue, wait for them until they arrive. They have to settle down, pack things up, and then after 10, 11, the process began. So it was kind of frustrating for some polling centers. Unlike some other polling centers, like the polling center at the Locust community at St. Michael, which was very peaceful. The staffs were on time and it was not kind of crowded compared to other stations. There was a station at Richard Allen of which I visited earlier on today. I don't know, maybe for St.
yeah,
Michael, it was as a result of the fact that St. Michael, they were not having enormous number of people who registered at that particular center. Unlike Richard Allen, a lot of people registered at that center, and so they were having pressure. So people were grumbling about the queue. The ECSL institution failed to release some of their um, their materials to reach this venue earlier. So they have their constraints by themselves, because they had a press conference earlier on today, of which they were kind of explaining some of the constraints with transporting some of these materials at the different polling stations. But actually, some of the stations that I visited, it was held so peaceful. It was so peaceful. Nothing like violence, nothing like unrest, nothing like protest. It was so peaceful. People were at the queue. They were patiently enough. Thank God for the weather today. It was only raining later in the evening hours of today, but throughout the day today, it was shining and there was nothing like rain. People were out there in, casting their votes for politicians they have interest in. So far, I think it was awesome. The different stations that I visited.
oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And just to be clear, at least there was no mood of violence, no other
No,
than
at all.
these delays and all of that. Now,
Exactly. The delay
now,
from the end of the
yes.
ECSF. Yeah.
Now, were you there till some of these pollings closed down, especially those that delayed to open? Were you able to be in any of them until they closed down, until the voting time was over?
Well, actually, it was not a static operation. I was not at a particular police station for the rest of the day. So I was kind of rotating, moving around different polling stations. Like I visited about 5 to 6 polling stations today around my community area, because I never wanted to have gone far because of the situation, of other security issues. So
Okay.
I visited about 5 to 6 polling stations around, and I limited myself not to move too further, and I was just around. my community and the neighboring communities around my community. So it was actually encouraging, actually.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, the reason why I was asking more so if whether their delay ended up having some people not being able to vote. So let's say, for example, if people who came back later, you know what I mean? If they were still able to be accommodated, if they extended the time to make sure that all those that wanted to vote in that particular polling station were able to vote. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I was at a particular polling station because the time that was given by ECSL was 5 p.m.
Yes.
Was 5 p.m. So in that particular police station that I was at that particular point in time, in fact, they were not having crowd. People will only come maybe after 30 minutes or 45 minutes to see another person come. So there was nothing like pressure there. But unlike another station of which I visited, what I got from the polling station manager was that some of the members or some of the constituents who are there to vote, the fact that you are at the queue before 5 p.m., you are allowed to vote. But others who will be coming after 5, they will not be allowed because it was the time given to them by their boss. That's one. Then two, they never intended for this particular session to have been extended to after 5 p.m. because they have to do this manual counting at the different police stations, and they don't want to do it overnight. So as a result of that, they were kind of encouraging people to go and vote on time. So they addressed all others who were at the queue before 5 p.m. And however, there was some of these people who are going around the community with megaphone announcing to people about, reminding them about the time that after 5, you won't be allowed to vote. After 5, so people were coming out and making sure that, they are not out of the time frame.
Wow, that's fantastic, fantastic. So at least there wasn't a situation, at least from your perspective, from your objective observation, where people who actually showed up before 5 o'clock were left out, or people showed up after 5 o'clock because there was a delay in opening a particular polling station, right? According to you, your observation.
Yes. From the different police stations I visited, I did not witness such scenario. I did not witness it, except maybe for other people. Maybe for other people where they observe. But for the police station that I do observe or do my observation, I did not come across such scenario.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, before we move on to your presentation, I've seen a lot of people a number of people have come in. Since today is the elections, and today the elections has taken place, I want to allow the platform for young people to feel comfortable, know that this is secured. And we're just, airing out our experiences today in Sierra Leone, what we observed, how we felt. Were you feeling insecure? Were you feeling scared? Or how was the atmosphere? Can people unmute themselves, please? And just, let us know what are your thoughts regarding what you experienced today objectively. I'm opening the forum to many. And I want to acknowledge, I hope he doesn't mind, Mr. Patrick Samuels as well is in the house. How are you doing, sir? Mr. Patrick, can you hear me? You seem muted. Hello, Mr. Samuels.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear you. Mr. Samuel is another young man that is doing great things in the country. So yes, we wanted you to make some statements. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Like you said, I am Patrick Hassan Bishi Samuels, and an ambassador for Generation Unlimited and also a member of the United Nations Youth Advisory Group. Today, I participated in the electioneering process by exercising my franchise.
Mhm.
I did vote at Lungi, where the international airport is. And I did exercise that at constituency 077, somewhere around Benke, Shillong Street. Actually, at my polling center, the atmosphere was conducive, even though at some point in the evening during the counting process, I think one of the candidates who was running for mayor position came around to see if what is happening. So some people were angry, some people had to react, but because he saw the atmosphere was not too conducive for him, he had to leave and go back. But otherwise, everything went on peacefully and the counting was ongoing. I think they just completed counting because I'm seeing people are jubilating outside. I just wanted to go and check, but since I was on this meeting, I couldn't go there to know what's happening. But so far, I think it was good here.
Fantastic, fantastic. So from your experience, sir, today, is there anything out of the the extraordinary that you may have raised any concern or anything at all today that you may have observed?
Well, at my polling center here, I think nothing contrary to that happened because the polling opened actually on time, and everyone who had their voter ID cards or documents who were legitimate voters were allowed to vote. And the only discrepancy, but I think that was in line with the rules and regulations set up by ECSL, which is those who are allowed to vote in centers that they were not registered are only in 4 categories, maybe military personnel, those who are part of the patrol team, ECSL staff, the new observers, and the likes. But otherwise, if you are not, then you will not be allowed. And the polling center manager was very polite and he was very succinct in explaining to the people for them to understand. And so many people accepted his what he explained. So I think everything went on well. Polling centers were open on time and they closed on time because there were nobody in line when it was 5. So and there was no need for them to wait further. They had to start counting.
Fantastic. This is great. So right now in the country, what's the mood right now? You said people are jubilating outside.
Here at Lungi, because I'm currently in Lungi.
Yeah.
It's my area. People are jubilating, but we all know this is the northwest part of Sierra Leone, and it's a stronghold for the All People's Congress. Okay. I can't tell who are jubilating, but I had people who are jubilating outside because I'm indoor, but I had them jubilating. I can't tell who they are, what political party they belong to or whatsoever, but we all know from the view that this is a northwest and it's a stronghold of the All People's Congress.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick. Is there anything else you'd like to add to it? I see that Mr. Paul Jabate is also online. And so Mr. Paul, if you can hear me, can you prepare also to say something about, remember the topic on this platform is about youth, their role in nation building, their peaceful, progressive role in nation building. Now, their role in this progressive effort has to be underpinned by peace, because we believe that, you cannot build in chaos. Yes, you can protest against something, you can revolt to break something, there are so many things that you can do, but they are not geared towards building. Maybe they are geared towards sending a message or breaking a particular barrier that has been standing on your way or on our way. But when it comes to actually building a nation, when it comes to developing a nation, when it comes to building, it cannot be done in a chaotic, violent way. It has to be done peacefully, in peace. So, Mr. Patrick, is there any final statement you want to say before we go to Mr. Paul Jabate?
I think it's a very good opportunity for me to be part of this platform. And I just want to say thank you to the initiators of this particular event. So far, so good. I don't think there's anything more for me to add, but maybe subsequently as the meeting progresses, if there's anything, then I will pop up and say it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
My
Mr.
pleasure.
Jabate, are you online? Can you hear me?
Good evening, Reverend Steve Matt.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. Good evening,
Yes.
fellow.
Yes, yes. So we want to start with your experience in Freetown today on this election day from morning. Tell us a little bit about your objective view, about your experience today on this great day, this election day in our country.
Good evening, fellow compatriots. It's a pleasure to be here. Special thanks to you, Reverend Steve Mans, and the leadership management of on electioneering today was quite fulfilled. I would say I'm a fulfilled Sierra Leonean. So I voted in my village where I was born, Montorial, a very peaceful place. So a very peaceful place where for some time now, the branding of this very place had been one of
Mr. Paul, your network is going in and out. Can you hear me?
and caused a lot of challenging things for the people here. But for today specifically,
Yes.
I saw peace, I saw stability, and I saw readiness by the populace of this community to be very positive citizen, and that has told me, and it is telling the world in general, that Montorial is transformed, Montorial is rebranded, and we are ready for peace and progress, and for the leadership of this country. So the situation regarding
Line is going in and out. The network, please, guys, bear with us as the line goes in and out. Bear with us. I know the network is not easy.
With a kudos to, first of all, kudos to the ECSL staff whom I encountered. I wouldn't speak generally for Sierra Leone, I'll speak about Montorial only. The ECSL staff, the SLP, and the observers, whether from you and from other bodies, I would say they were quite professional. And I want to say a big kudos to the people of Montorial who turned up en masse to fulfill their civic duty. Timing was a little bit of challenge, and that is something I expected, because logistical mobility is something that is always constrained. So I saw some of the stations I visited. As per law, voting was supposed to start at 7, but that was not the case, and there was a little delay, as I mentioned, logistical reasons. But apart from that, the positioning, the conduct of everybody there, ECSL staff, the monitors from all political parties, observers, and specifically the SLP. I didn't see anyone with weapon. I didn't see anyone with even a baton. They were so professional, speaking to the people respectfully. And the station where I voted, there was this crowd outside because of the eagerness from people to vote. So there was this arrangement that people would come into the compound in tens. So they count 1 to 10, and that's the first group will come in, another 10, then people come in tens. The station I voted was at the UMC Ginger Hall Primary School. Everything there was arranged. I'm impressed with what I saw on how the NEC staff handled the process. I didn't take up to 10 minutes when I got into the center where I was supposed to vote.
Wow.
My name was called.
Wow.
My name was called when I tendered my ID card, and it took some time for them, of course, about 3 to 5 minutes for them to locate my name on the general register. Once that was done, I think that is what takes the time to actually get people's name from the register. But mine starts with the J. So, and there was this alphabetical arrangement where if your name starts from A to E, you know where to go to. From D to F, you know where to go to. From K to something, you know where to go to. So I just went specifically to the J center, and they found my name there. The people who were given the ballot papers did so, stamped and gave me speedily. So I just went to the booth, casted my vote, and it was just done orderly in an orderly manner. And I must say kudos to the set of Sierra Leoneans I encountered today. I know there have been challenges elsewhere. I wouldn't want to speak to those challenges. I'm still monitoring as it is now. I'm still on site. I'm still monitoring. In some centers have not concluded voting. Some centers have concluded and are counting right now.
Wow.
And yes, and it is still an ongoing process. And kudos to NEC also. There was this midday press conference they had, in which some of the concerns were highlighted, and they were forthright enough to respond to those concerns. I don't know if all concerns were met, or some of them were met. One of which I think was the extension of the voting time, specifically for the reason that most, if not all, nationally, most if not all of the polling station did not start on time. That is a concern, and I think as per logistic reasons, that was expected. You wouldn't expect the NEC staff or the ECSL staff to go sleep with the materials in those centers for their own safety and for their Sierra Leoneans like us, and for the credibility of the process. Certain things have to be kept in secure locations, and bringing those things to the very station and centers where voting is supposed to take place today was sort of like the hitch, where the hitch happened. And 7 o'clock was not 7 o'clock. Some people started 8, later than 8, 9. Some start as late as 11. But the extension of the timing for the voting process was a kudos to them. I believed everyone who got in line got to their centers. Everyone who got in line and got to their centers, I want to make this very clear. I believe ESL staff had no reason not to have given such people the opportunity to cast their vote. And yes, and I believe that they adhered to that. And as per law, everyone who was there in line before 5 should cast their vote and be recognized as a civic participator and in fulfilling the electioneering process. So Mount Royal was quite calm today. Everywhere there was a happy mood, jubilant mood, not necessarily people jubilating, but the smile was on people. You see people in pockets, in little groups discussing, some making analysis of what they've had and from elsewhere in the country. There were challenges in the southern side, and there was this allegation of somebody ballot stuffing in Mabroukra, I think in Makeni as well. Bits and pieces of electioneering challenges nationally, but on the whole, Mount Royal was a peaceful. I dare say, the most peaceful part of Sierra Leone during this electioneering period. So it's a plus. If you want me to give a percentage as to what happened here in Mount Royal, I'll safely give Give and take, I'll safely give a 90%. So that's an A, even an A plus. And that is because the people turned out and they participated effectively, and the NEC and ECSL staff had no reason but to cooperate with the people of Montreal. So that's that. Thanks. Now that will be my summary of today's event. Evan, Steve, are you with us?
Oh, I forgot that my phone was muted. I was speaking, in fact. Yes, I'm with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Jabite. Thank you for your perspective and for your take. We do have Mr. Nelson Richardson. Are you here? Nelson Richardson, have you signed in? Okay, while we wait for him, is there anybody else that was in Freetown that observed something that you would want to, share with all of us? I'm happy to hear the things that I'm hearing so far. Yes. Okay. Augustine James.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. So what part of Sierra Leone were you today during these elections, Augustine?
Oh, okay. First of all, I am Augustine James, and I'm the programs officer for the Media Reform Coordinating Group, MRCG. So yesterday, we established and launched a media situation room, a situation room wherein we will use and rely on information from our media monitors across the country to put out real-time information on the performance of the media on today's election day. So today we were at the situation room wherein we monitored all the TV stations in the country and all major radio stations across the country. And so far that was how the day went, and we are now putting the reports together, which we'll publish anytime soon.
So thank you so much. I appreciate that, Mr. Augustine. While we are waiting, hello, Mr. Augustine, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Yes. So while we are waiting for the official take of the media, these are young people who love their country, and we're just having a good time here. What is your, would you mind to share your observation as an ordinary objective Sierra Leonean today in terms of the mood of the country, not necessarily about the voting results or any of that. It's just the mood of the nation in the areas that you visited and what you saw. Were you in any way intimidated in any shape or form? Did you feel what was the mood? What's your take ordinarily?
Okay, the mood today was quite peaceful and smooth. The entire process was smooth and cool, except for the late arrival of voting materials at police stations. That was the major concern, which we, in our monitoring process, that was one of the major things we picked up. Then apart from that, for journalists in the previous elections, 2018 elections, we had issues with journalists being intimidated, journalists facing challenges on elections day. And we also had another issue wherein a journalist was physically assaulted, in which he later died out of the assault. So that was one of our closest thing we monitored, the safety and security of journalists ahead of during this elections period. So what we observed today, since the day started and at this point, we've not had all of any issue of arrest, intimidation, or any physical assaults on any journalist. That is something we are grateful for, because prior to now, we did a regional training across the country in which we emphasized on the safety and security of journalists. We ensure that they take in cognizance their own personal safety as they cover the elections. So we are happy that at the end of the elections day to day, there have not been any complaint of journalists being beaten, journalists being assaulted, journalists being physically molested. And generally, again, we notice that in our monitoring, in our situation, we monitor that a good number of the media institutions follow the media regulations, and they were very, very professional in what they did today. So we are grateful for that.
Fantastic, fantastic. For those of you that are joining, don't forget to turn on your audio, because if you don't turn on your audio, you might not be able to say anything. Thank you so much, Mr. Augustine. We really appreciate you, and we are looking forward to the official position of the media in Sierra Leone today. But one thing I can be proud, and all of you that are abroad who have family back there, because I remember even my own mother was so worried. She wanted me to to take out of the country, you know, and all of that. So this morning I called, and this afternoon I called, and everything was calm, you know, and I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for that. I think that's a huge win. And considering all, you know, what was, you know, the things that were happening that was leading to this election, for us to have such a peaceful and calm elections. I was reaching out to people in McKinney, people in Bo, Kono, and different locations across the country, just asking what was the mood of the country. And there was not a single place that I reached out across the country that I had some people. But I want to hear, you know, people who were there. And at this point, we want even to call on Patrick. I think Patrick has joined us, Patrick Samuels. Thank you so much, Augustine. Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to it.
You're welcome.
Yes. If you have something to say, please, we have, you can type. If you couldn't say something, you can type, and everybody can read what you're typing. Or you can raise your hand or send me a message that you want to say something, and we'll be glad to give you an opportunity to speak. Is Patrick here, please? Patrick Samuels, I think you're here now. Can you hear me? You are muted, Patrick. I don't know if you're speaking. Okay, while probably we wait for him. Is there someone else? Okay, hello. Finally.
Yes, I think I spoke. I don't know if there's any other thing else you want me to.
Well, maybe it wasn't Patrick. Nelson Richardson. Sorry about that. Nelson Richardson, are you here now?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You have the floor. Thank you. Kindly introduce yourself briefly and tell us what are your thoughts regarding the elections in Sierra Leone today.
All right, so I'm Nelson Richardson Mandela. I'm a leading member of West African Youth for Peace Network. My colleagues and I have been following the Sierra Leone elections. There are a few of my colleagues who are on the grounds today also as well. I want to find out, is Jane on the line? I think it's one of my colleagues who are also monitoring some of the few areas also as well. Yeah, so I think prior to the election, we have been to, especially with today, as everybody is aware, generally, it has been the issues about how most of the centers, materials didn't come to the centers very early. I think most of the centers delayed, most especially, and doing part of the voting, like McKinney, where it's being believed to be one of the strongholds of the opposition party. I think at the point in time around the middle of voting, I think there were issues about the ballot papers were finished, and that was like a great concern, which nearly brought about some few misunderstandings, but it was resolved after the press release that the EC came out with. And I think my people also witnessed McKinney North, where to form booklet of ballot papers were found, where 2 men were caught. And I think I would say today your security agencies did a good job. I think maybe they were on the grounds. I think the intelligence were good, and I think it was naturally Good. I think that there were only, center at Maria polling center, as well as YWCA center. There were some few problems between, the citizens, the police, and the EC members. But at the end of the day, I think that was also resolved. That was as a result of misunderstanding. There were also political agents, at least one or two at most of the centers also as well. So with the assurance of the EC that they will allow others who have not, once you are in line after 5, you will still be allowed to vote, because there were some places at 1 o'clock. There were no ballot papers there at the time, but generally, I would say it has improved from your last election, based on what we have heard and what we have also read. And I believe that it will end well. Yeah, definitely in elections, both parties will be bringing allegations, and this one wants to do this one wants to do that. But we are, as observers, and all the observers are keenly on ground, just to make sure that everything is done. I think I'll commend your media also as well. They are doing a good job, because even on Twitter, people are doing well. So even somebody who is not even on the grounds can really get to know what really is going on in Celarion. So these are the few things I would like to share. I don't know whether my colleague Gift, if Gift is online, Gift can also maybe share some few stuff at her zone also as well.
So
okay,
Gift.
good evening.
Good evening, Gift. Yes, kindly introduce yourself briefly and give us your take, please. Go ahead. Thank you so much, Mr.
Okay.
Richardson. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead, Gift.
Okay, so I'm Gift Akwagwago, and also a member of West Africa Youth for Peace, and I'm currently in Port Loko. I was able to run through 2 polling centers, and it was very, very, very good, very tight. Although at Fawe Primary School, one of the police center where I worked, they brought some ballot boxes late, so which caused a little bit of agitation, because by the time we already got there, they were ready to vote. Like, what I noticed is that the Sierra Leoneans were really eager to vote. They were really eager to cast their vote, so they were already there. So that brought like a bit of agitation, but it was resolved and people voted, and it was great. European Union also came. By the time it was looking like it was going to go bad, and then they did a dialogue, and then it was peaceful, and then they voted. I also went to St. James Primary School, where it has 5 polling stations, and the 3rd police station, they had a slight issue where people were on the queue to vote, but their names were not on the voters register, so they were not allowed to vote at that point. So they were trying to resolve it. So that caused like a little bit of issue, but it was later resolved. So generally, I can say that this election, in fact, I'm impressed, because I know how election is in my home country. So I can say that I'm impressed about how this election went, and we continue to do better to see that we conduct free, peaceful elections in West Africa. And this is what I and my colleagues are onto. This is our mission, this is our goal. And by God's grace, we'll get there. So I'm impressed with the elections. We've done some of the collations. We've done some of the collations from the stations and centers. So everything is calm, everything is peaceful. So that's all for now. Yeah. So it's amazing.
Fantastic. I'm very grateful to hear you guys as observers and non-Sierra Leoneans, citizens, yet giving an objective take on what you observed today across the country. This is extremely invaluable to us. We are still open to hear thoughts and statements from people across the country in your different places. If you are here and you would want to say something as to what you observed today, this is the platform, this is the time, and now it's your turn to say something. Yes, I see Ambassador Paul. Go ahead, Ambassador.
Yes, sir. Just an additional statement for clarity purpose prior to my observation today. One thing I noticed also was there was nothing like a secrecy of the ballot boxes. And sorry, I mean the boxes where people vote. The box that is created where you will collect your slip and then you go to that particular box to vote. So it's kind of exposing. There is nothing about it being secret, because imagine a 2-to-1 box, a box having 2 people that are voting on that particular box. There is nothing like secrecy. I might be voting and someone might be behind me or might be collecting his or her slip and will be penetrating at my slip whilst I'm voting. Maybe the Electoral Commission should have procured for more boxes where people will cast their votes. And also the decision about the security sector, about the Sierra Leone police at the different polling centers without weapons was deliberate. It was deliberate prior to the press conference held yesterday at Binsumani. The Chief of Staff of the security sector assured all Sierra Leoneans at the conference yesterday that it was deliberate that the security sector, the police will be at all the police centers without military support, but only police without weapons. The reason why they choose not to give them weapons is because you securing a particular police center as a security personnel holding a weapon might incite a form of a psychological disenfranchisement to the people, because I might get to the police center, I want to cast my vote, but the moment I see, the way the police are all of them are with their weapons, I will just start to do some amount of reflection, like what have been happening in the previous elections. Some people will just say, this place is not kind of peaceful for me. I prefer sit at my home and choose not to vote. So you see, it was deliberate prior to the press conference yesterday that no police officer will be with a weapon or with their weapons at the polling centers. But there was an alternative or a contingency plan of which they did. There were patrol teams that were plying the streets. Peradventure, anything happen in any of these polling centers, there will be a quick response or a quick call that they will definitely call, and then this patrol team will definitely intervene at that particular community, at that particular center, to salvage that particular situation. And also the youth played very important roles in exposing some other youth who were busy stuffing these ballot papers. It was actually not majority of the security personnel. You won't believe that the youths there were like they were like vuvuzelas. They were like eyewitnesses. They were there to vote, but their eyes were everywhere. So they were busy exposing other youths who were there to rig the election and to cause mayhem. So that's why if you follow some of the videos, you will see even some of these people were beating some of these people that were caught, stuffing these boxes or doing all of this electoral violence stuff. So they were beating them up. This is to tell you that the youth were really agitated, they were really ready, they were filled with the alacrity for this particular election. And so they were not in any form ready for anything that has to do with rigging or malpractices in this particular election.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. I'm glad to hear. I mean, I think that was a very good thought. The fact that they decided to keep weapons outside of the polling station, just like you have tried to give rationale behind it. It makes absolute sense. And I'm grateful that at least things seems quiet, because I know my country, if things had gone so bad, you would have seen it washing off on Facebook and all other places. But we're grateful to also hear directly from you guys that are on the ground that actually experienced this. Is there any other person that wants to say something, that was on the ground, that observed something? By the way, this space, we're going to be opening it up at 9 p.m. Sierra Leone local time, which will be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, Boston time. And then I think it is 3 o'clock, the West Coast, like California, their end. We're going to be opening up tomorrow as well. We're going to be opening up to give opportunity to young people to come and just give an objective view of what they are observing, what is taking place in our country. We want to leave it open until we fully transition and we see how our country is going. This time around, there are a lot of people across the world, including me and many others, that are praying for our nation. Our eyes are on our nation, and we're wishing that our nation will not relapse to any of the other things that may have happened or that people are anticipating would happen. We're praying that we would come out of this victorious, and whoever ended up winning, that we would coalesce around that person's agenda and accept them as the leader and unite around their agenda and move forward, whether you voted for that person or not. That's what democracy is all about. And most of the time, the young people are the vulnerable ones that these other people are going to look for and try to manipulate to push their agenda out there. We are opening this forum to educate, to enlighten, to encourage, and you also can hear from different people to ensure that the young people, we don't allow that to happen. It is our country, and we cannot build through chaos. We cannot build through violence. We cannot build through division and all these other things. So if you have an observation that you made today during the elections, I'm kindly asking to unmute yourself and give us your take. But we'll be here. We'll be here today for the next few minutes. We are planning to be here from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Salon local time, which is just about an hour and a half. And tomorrow we'll be here as well. And if need be, Monday we'll be here as well. We just want to keep in touch. We want to keep in touch with what is happening on the ground.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening. Kindly introduce yourself and let us know where you are connecting from and what is your take.
My name is Aminata Sumari from Freetown, Sierra Leone, Wilkinson Road, and I want to thank Ms. Hawa Zipora Moriba for adding me to this platform. So being a first-time voter, I was very pleased and happy of how the process went, because for my own polling station, which was a collegiate Wilkinson Road, it was very peaceful. The only problem was that the illiterate people were finding it hard to locate their names. You all know Sierra Leone is a country full of K, the Kamaras. So it was very hard for them to locate their names because the Kamaras, they had like 5 polling stations all to themselves. So that was the only thing I could see from my own police station.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Aminata. Thank you so much.
You.
Yes. Yes. And I see Silva Jane. Your hand is up. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for Ambassador Paul.
Yes.
He spoke about the election not being secretive enough. So police station where I started, we're going in one by one to cast the votes inside the school. So like it's a classroom and the boxes were there. Yeah. And I felt really concerned because all the elections that I've seen, they placed the ballot outside for people to cast their vote. That way, it is transparent, because when people are going inside the classroom to cast their votes, people can rig it. A lot of things could happen inside that classroom. So if he is saying that it is not secretive enough, I really want to know what he means by that, because I was concerned that they placed the ballot boxes inside the classroom and then people were going inside the classroom to cast their votes, which I don't think is cool, because it could be rigged, anything can happen. So that was the observation for that, because I even told my colleague, we were two, I told him, I said, see, why are they not bringing the ballot boxes outside where people can see what is going on, what is happening? Of course, I'm not saying that I want to know who you're voting for, but at least let's know the people that are voting and how many people have, casted their votes in the ballot box, rather than taking it inside where nobody is there. Because, so that's what I'm saying. I want to know what he means by the secrecy with the voters and the voting. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Paul, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Let me state for clarity purpose. Yeah, I think I corrected that. I was not trying to refer to the ballot box, but rather the voter box, where people are, where the voter box that they are using to vote. It's kind of exposing. Like, for example, as you see the way they designed it, as you see the way it was built for two.
Yeah.
One person from this end, one person from this other end. And again, whilst the two of you might be voting, or whilst you might be voting and the other place is empty, another person, the electoral staff might be attending to another person who is waiting to receive his or her slip from the electoral staff. Whilst waiting, you are busy voting, there is every tendency for that person to know who you are voting for, because the person is closer to you. I noticed that in one of the police stations, so they had to make that correction, and then I talked to the electoral staff, and then it was, we actually arranged it, and it was actually resolved. They have to move the box a bit from where the staff was sitting. The voting box I'm talking about, not the ballot box where the votes are casted. I'm talking about that portrait box where you have to enter and then you do your voting.
All right.
Fantastic. Okay. Yes. So, but that is a very interesting point that you brought, Gift, because I did see even some leaders on Twitter and on LinkedIn and other social media casting their votes in a classroom. I did see it's like a primary, you see the benches, those who were taking pictures and posting them on social media. I really did see, I think even Ben Kaifala's picture, if you go online, you see that his vote is in a classroom, with some benches and casting his vote, and other people as well. So was this the common practice across, or was it the places that you went, Mr. Carlos, were those polling boxes outside, or were they in the classroom, or is there, or no, Mr. Paul as well?
No, I'm not trying to say these were outside. They were all inside. It was deliberate that they used classrooms because the previous elections used to happen in March and the dry season. But considering the fact that we are in the rainy season and this is June, so it was deliberate. They made early preparations and ensure that we have it in a covering place like classroom. So I don't know for other places, but I do believe majority of the polling centers, they are classrooms.
Okay. Paul, are you still with us? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Mr. Ambassador. Yeah, go ahead. Carlos, go ahead.
So if not all of the polling stations, but majority are in the classrooms. So I was not kind of saying that they were not conducted in the classroom. No. All of the polling stations that I observed today, they were all in the classrooms. They were all in the classrooms because of the rainy season. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Paul Jabate. Go ahead.
Yes. So, if I may just throw a bit of light to what the current discussion is channeled towards. Mm-hmm. So there is a voting booth, and there is the ballot box.
Okay.
Now the ECL officers would give you your slip.
Yeah.
And you go to the voting booth, tick whatever you want to tick, and then move to the ballot box I think the first 2 is the presidential and parliamentary. And then you meet another staff who will give you another 2 slip. And then that would be the mayoral thing and the local government, the local chairpersons, whatever. You move to the second 2 ballot boxes and put whatever you have to put in there. Now, the fact, I understand what the last speaker was trying to say. Perhaps, I wasn't there. Perhaps there was a bit of a hitch in coordination where they would allow more than one person to come and take slips, in which case, the person standing, waiting for the person in the voting booth might be seeing what he or she is thinking.
Exactly.
Yes. So that it's not that the booth I used was the appropriate one. Perhaps the coordination from the ECSL staff in that particular station or center was not efficient or effective enough. Where I was, you would come individually. There were this interval where you would take your 2 slips, you wait for the next person to use the booth, and then you move to the next booth, and then the person will come and use it. Perhaps the coordination in that center was not appropriate. That might have been the problem. And to the voting, to the ballot boxes, no matter where they are placed, in the classroom, out of the classroom, they are sealed.
Okay.
They are sealed. Yes, they are sealed. And that is the concern. Did you see any ballot box that was not sealed? That would be a concern. In which case, it should have been a trigger for potential manipulation of votes. All ballot boxes should have been sealed. And when the voting is done, the seal will be broken, and then they count those ballots in the ballot boxes with all observers and party representatives present.
Okay.
That should have been the focus. But whether they are done in the classroom or out of classroom, just like the last speaker said, the decision to use those kind of setting was because there might have been rains in some part of the country, and you wouldn't want people to stand and vote in the rain, in which case the classrooms were better options. But the fact that somebody would go into a classroom and then tamper with the box, it is not supposed to be so if the ballot boxes were sealed. If the seal is broken, then might have been chances for potential manipulation. Or where the boxes are sealed, I don't think anyone would be in place to tamper with them, especially with security personnel around.
Thank you so much, Paul. I see some hands up now. Before I see David that sent me a message long time ago. David, can you say something quick from where you are? Introduce yourself, please. Those of you whose hands are up, keep your hands up, because then after David, I'll go to you. David, are you here? Can you unmute? David? All right, while we're waiting for David, Blessing, go ahead, please. Blessing.
Okay, so good evening once more.
Yes.
Each and every person that have contributed today has made an impact in my life. But I don't know, for everybody that has said something, they've casted their votes. But for me, I'm yet to become a voter, except for the next election when I'm due age. But I followed my mom and dad when they went to do their registration, and also today I accompanied them when they went to do their voting. And what I observed in my center, and it's something we should really appreciate and lay emphasis on, this specific election, this year's election, is quite peaceful as compared to the ones we've been having, if my memory can serve me right. Because my parents voted at Milton Magai College, where I stay, Godich area, inside the campus. That is where we have the voting area. Everything was done in order. And what I observe is that citizens of Sierra Leone are really eager to make a decision for the country. Like my center, most of the people who whom went to register were also there today to vote, cast their votes and exercise their franchise. So it's something that is very pleasing to see that Sierra Leoneans are really ready to make that change, or they are ready to send their voice out by their voting system or by casting their votes. So the peace is something we should really hold at heart. And this year's election, people were expecting tension, but all that was killed down and it went smoothly. So all we are waiting for, as someone who will be voting in the next election, I just hope that this peace will continue till the time I'm also legitimate to vote. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, that is wonderful. That is amazing, to hear the next generation speak and observe and already motivated to carry on or carry out their civic duty. This is amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for your contribution. Laj, kindly introduce yourself, where you are, and what did you experience today and what you want to say. Go ahead, Laj.
Good evening or good afternoon, everybody. So basically, my name is Alhaji Furekagbo, and I'm excited, and I've been hearing a lot of speakers making their statements, and I've learned a lot. And of course, like few observations that I really enjoyed today were moving around, seeing people, like the willingness in most of the people here trying to go to the polling station saying that we're going to vote for a change. For me, one thing that I've been preaching even before the election has been, let's go and vote for a change that will be like something great for Sierra Leone, because it's not just 5 years. It's not just 5 months or 5 days, it's 5 years. So whatever change we make now will affect us for the next 5 years. So that's willingness. When I saw a lot of people going around today saying, oh, we're going to vote, even come rain, come shine, we're going to vote. That's willingness. I was really excited. And unfortunately for me, I was not fortunate to vote today. Reason being, I've not been around. I've been out of the country, and the time the registration was done, I was not around. So I was just there observing, seeing people going there to cast their votes and seeing my family, the excitement. I was really excited, and I'm really happy that we are currently moving from that narrative where people used to say, when it's election in Sierra Leone, it's war. When it's election in Sierra Leone, it's a lot of things happening around here, but missing the peacefulness and the willingness of Sierra Leoneans going out there to make a change. I just pray we get a successful result, and I just pray whatever result we get from this election, each and every Sierra Leonean will accept and look forward to the leader that's the majority might vote in today. And of course, I want to say thank you to everybody, especially the brain behind this. I mean, the host. I mean, you are an amazing person thinking of how people are doing and also getting experience from different people. This means a lot. And thank you all. And most importantly, I've had my boss speak. Paul Jibate is my boss, he's my mentor, and I'm really excited. I was able to clarify the issue of the voting. And thank you, everybody. And I'm excited being here. And tomorrow I'll see my schedule, and I'll try to be as well to probably give some of my observation that I'll be getting from now till tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, I would kindly ask all of you that are here to become the ambassadors, to welcome as many. There are many on the YouTube that are not in here, but at least they are listening to you, and I'm getting feedbacks on the YouTube, people sending messages that they are being enlightened and encouraged and uplifted by what they're hearing on the Zoom. So let us be ambassadors to circulate this message to as many young people as you can reach, so that the next few days, until we see our country fully transition, that this becomes a platform where somebody at least can hear something that can encourage them and also help them to remain peaceful and remain constructive and remain positive for our country. So thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes,
Reverend,
David.
I heard you were calling David. Were you trying to reach out to me?
Yes, David. Yes, I thought you sent me a message.
Okay.
Yes, it was you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and finally, before I leave, Another thing that I wanted to also bring to your attention is the fact that, of course, these platforms are important when elections are around there. But again, I'm craving on your indulgence to continue with such platforms after the elections, because again, we have a couple of Sierra Leoneans or the youth out there that most of the times they want to like cry out their voices here, but the platforms are not there. So having platforms like this, I mean, when you post this content on YouTube or wherever you're posting it, when people get to listen, they get to learn and they get to see other people's perspective. Trust me, we'll get a better Sierra Leone when we continue having dialogues like this in a very respectable manner. But not having this kind of platform is really a challenge for most Sierra Leoneans, especially the youths that are willing to speak up their mind. And I would want to say thank you once more for bringing this platform, and thank you to Hawa for probably sharing the link to me and, you know, urging me to be a part of this conversation. I've learned a lot, and thank you all.
Thank you so much. And, you know, this morning I woke up and a Sierra Leonean professor in a university in Texas, sent me a message and said, oh, I went through the YouTube link and I was very encouraged to hear the young people. I'm so happy. Thank you. So there are many people who will be going to the YouTube. If you go to YouTube, I'm going to post the link here on the chat box. Is actually youtube.com/Transit TV Network. You'll see the program there yesterday. You will see this one here there too as well. So let us continue to contribute. David, are you ready to say something now?
Well, I thought this platform was meant for the youth, you know, who were to listen to them to get their own views. But if you want me to say something, I would say something.
Yeah, so tell us where you voted today. Yeah, go ahead, and what you observed.
I voted in Kono.
Yes.
My name is David A. I'm white and well, Kanesi, a Kono man. I live in Kono at the moment. So for me, I think I voted here in the Kono, in one of the primary schools, SIC. You know, if basically the voting process was peaceful and calm. You know, it was there was some level of professionalism displayed on the part of NEC staff, the police, and so on and so forth. So basically everything from the start to the finish was to me fantastic. You know, it shows that we are growing, we are maturing, you know, as a nation. To the lady that wanted to know why the ballot boxes, I think they have answered you already. I wanted to know why the ballot boxes were placed into the classrooms. It was done here in Sierra Leone, in Kono as well. Okay. We had the ballot boxes placed in classrooms in anticipation of the rain. You know, we are in the rainy season right now. So many people thought it was going to rain today. So before the rain would disrupt the process, they decided to prepare themselves for the rains already. Otherwise, apart from that, the ballot boxes are normally placed in the view of everyone. You know, and also the fact that if they are placed in the classrooms, there could be the possibility of ballot stuffing. Is difficult for that to happen, you know, because all the ballot boxes are placed in the view of party representatives. Yeah, the party representatives were also in the classrooms. They were also, you know, strategically positioned in the classroom. They were also very verified and then they vetted the voters that went in and out. So basically, the process is, to me, just like the previous speakers have said already, the process proved to be above average for now, and I'm sure, just like the others have said already, there are so many rooms for improvement, and Sierra Leone is working towards, you know, one of these days that we would have would have a better system that would be able to vote probably online and or electronic and so on and so forth. But basically, on the whole process, to me, it was a surprise because just like the other speakers have said, we anticipated violence, we anticipated a whole lot of things, but the whole thing came out as a surprise. And I just want to thank Reverend Steve Miles for giving the youth this opportunity to express themselves on a platform like this, because share their vision, share their understanding. Probably we could take this one beyond elections and take other topics and then take it further. But basically, I want to thank you all. I want to thank Reverend Matthew.
Thank you, David. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited to hear young people. We'll continue. Time is fast spent now. So I would just allow Deborah. Deborah, I think you're still with us, and Paul and Carlos and any other person here to just say maybe within 30 seconds a concluding statement. I want to express my gratitude to all of you for being a part. Let's come back tomorrow. Let's come in here. Let's welcome other people. Let's hear their thoughts. Let's create a platform where the diaspora and those on ground can be able to meet and actually discuss, especially in a peaceful and respectful atmosphere. So you guys, you can make your concluding statement, except if somebody else wants to say anything, and then we'll close this time for today. And we'll be ready to be here tomorrow. Zipporah has a flyer. I have a flyer. I posted it on my Facebook, and many of you who are here has. If you have it, please share it, and let's invite a lot of people so that they can come and we can have some fun. Okay. Anybody among those that have spoken before that would want to make maybe a concluding statement before we close this time?
Yeah. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Actually, I just want to use this very time to appreciate those who were part of the Zoom. It's inspiring to see, young people like us coming together, having this brilliant discussion and looking for where we can integrate peace in different communities. I am super happy, for those who came, though it was impromptu, some got the link very late, but I believe tomorrow we'll be here to, continue this healthy conversation. Thank you all so much. It has been educating, and I'm looking forward to learn from you, and as we share our experiences, and then work together. Thank you all so much. Bye.
And that's the voice of Zipporah. Thank you, Zipporah. Anybody else wants to say something, conclude this? Somebody wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say something, but I think Zipporah has already. But let me just extend profound thanks and appreciation to the initiators of this symposium. It has been really productive and impactful. And the word of encouragement I want to give to all of us here as young people: let's continue to serve as custodians of peace, and let's serve as the agents of change as we are, in ensuring that after this particular symposium, we get back, engage different social media handles, engage youth in our communities, and continue to encourage them to be peaceful, encourage young people in our communities to be peaceful, and let's maintain the peace that we have started today. Together, we can make it as a nation. The development of a nation depends on its peaceful coexistence. There is life after election. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you so much. And that is why we want to continue to encourage all of you to know that on this platform, we want to be constructive, and we want to be, motivating and encouraging people. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this now with a video. that talks about our
Samuel
country.
Matthew, are
It's a
you
very
live?
beautiful.
Samuel.
Samuel.
Yes, yes, I'm live.
I was expecting you to say something at least.
I know, right?
Okay. So you do the final closing, Samuel. After that, I'm gonna play this 5 minutes or almost 6 minute video.
I said Zipporah will kill me if I don't talk. Anyway, honestly, it's been nice getting on this forum. Unfortunately, I'm not in Sierra Leone to observe what is going on there. This morning I was a bit worried. Since yesterday as well, I was somewhat worried. I called my mom to check what are the things, especially when I saw today that somebody was held on. They said he was doing some like ballot stuffing or so. I had some odd things actually. So I called the mom to know what's going on. But on this forum today, I had some I got some messages that cooled my worries, and so it's nice joining here, despite the time being very impromptu, but I got some informative talks here. So it's always good to be peaceful. I could maybe I can use this forum to encourage everyone, especially those who are back home in Sierra Leone, to see how they can try their best to encourage guys to be peaceful and maintain the stabilized situations, and see how this election could turn out to be well. It's actually a turning point for our country's history at a moment like this, which the elections could turn out to be peaceful and like in all sectors. Yeah. So it's good joining here, but faithfully tomorrow I could join in time and see how we can make better contributions as we get along. Thanks so much, Zipporah, for sending the link despite being late. And today is my party. I graduated yesterday, and I'm actually enjoying tonight.
Congratulations!
Congratulations! We're proud of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for this space.
Yes. So we would welcome you tomorrow. So I'm gonna play this video now. It's only about 5 minutes. So as we just enjoy our country. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for coming. Thank you.
Sierra Leone, home to one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Nestled on the Atlantic Ocean in West Africa, Sierra Leone boasts a rich history, vibrant culture, and breathtaking landscapes. From its diamond industry to its role in the transatlantic slave trade, the country is steeped in history and tradition. But perhaps one of its most captivating features is its stunning beaches, including the River No. 2 Beach, which has been ranked as one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. With crystal clear waters, white sand, and lush greenery, Sierra Leone's beaches are a true paradise, beckoning visitors to explore the wonders of this enchanting country. Sierra Leone is a West African country located on the Atlantic Ocean, bordering Guinea to the north and east and Liberia to the southeast. It has a population of approximately 7 million people and is one of the most ethnically diverse countries in Africa, with over 18 different ethnic groups. The official language of Sierra Leone is English, which was inherited from its colonial past as a British colony. Before we continue, this is the new Rake, Ghana, where we showcase Africa and Africans in a positive light. Do well to appreciate our hard work by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Kindly note that your comments and suggestions are most welcome. Sierra Leone is known for its diamond industry, and it was one of the world's largest producers of diamonds in the 1990s. The 968.9 carat star of Sierra Leone was uncovered by miners in 1972 and remains the country's largest find. Unfortunately, many of the diamonds that were mined in Sierra Leone during the 1990s were blood diamonds, which were mined and traded illegally to fund brutal civil wars. Sierra Leone has a rich history as a hub of the transatlantic slave trade, and it is estimated that between 1600 and 1807, over 50,000 Africans were transported from Sierra Leone to the Americas. Freetown, Sierra Leone's capital city, was founded by freed slaves in 1787, making it one of the oldest cities in West Africa. The lifestyle in Sierra Leone varies depending on the region and ethnicity. Many people in Sierra Leone live in rural areas and engage in agriculture and fishing for their livelihood. The urban population is involved in a range of occupations, including business, government, and education. In general, the people of Sierra Leone are known for their warmth, hospitality, and strong community spirit. Sierra Leone's cuisine is diverse, reflecting the country's many ethnic groups. Rice is a staple food in Sierra Leone, and it is often served with stews or soups made from vegetables, meat, or fish. Other popular dishes include cassava leaf stew, okra soup, and groundnut soup. Fruits such as mangoes, papayas, and pineapples are also common and often served as desserts. The official currency of Sierra Leone is the leone, which is divided into 100 cents. Sierra Leone is home to a diverse range of wildlife, including chimpanzees, pygmy hippos, and a variety of primates. The Tawai Island Wildlife Sanctuary, located on the Moa River in southern Sierra Leone, is home to over 11 species of primates, including the critically endangered western chimpanzee. The Gola Rainforest National Park in southeastern Sierra Leone is one of the largest remaining areas of intact rainforest in West Africa. The Loma Mountains in northern Sierra Leone are home to the critically endangered western red colobus monkey, one of the rarest primates in the world. The Takagama Chimpanzee Sanctuary, located on the outskirts of Freetown, is a non-profit organization dedicated to the protection and rehabilitation of chimpanzees rescued from the illegal bushmeat trade. Sierra Leone is known for its vibrant music scene, which combines traditional African rhythms with modern influences. The late Ahmed Jankanebai, known as the Bubu King, was a Sierra Leonean musician who was known for his innovative mix of traditional music and electronic beats. The cotton tree, located in Freetown's center, is a symbol of freedom and unity for Sierra Leoneans. The National Museum in Freetown showcases Sierra Leone's rich cultural heritage, with exhibits on traditional music, clothing, and religious practices. The Banana Islands, located off the coast of Sierra Leone, are a popular tourist destination known for their pristine beaches and rich history, as a trading post for bananas and palm oil. The River No. 2 beach in southern Sierra Leone is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, with crystal clear water and white sand. Sierra Leone is home to a number of traditional festivals and celebrations, including the Bundu and Poro societies, which are secret societies that play important roles in Sierra Leonean culture. Freetown was home to the first institution of higher learning in modern sub-Saharan Africa after the collapse of the university at Timbuktu. Fora Bay College opened in 1827, and at the time was the only alternative to Europe and America for British colony West Africans who wanted a university degree.
Do you think ugly people are attractive?
Thank you so much. Our broadcast has come to an end. That was a very good summarization of what Sierra Leone is. We'll be here tomorrow, 9 o'clock, and thank you for coming. I'm Reverend Mbasi Steve Mans, originally from Sierra Leone, currently residing in Boston, Massachusetts, USA. God bless you, and thank you for coming. All of you that are going to say something tomorrow, you'll be saying something, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.